you're going to jail now.
My ex situation.
All of a sudden feeling sorry for a bum.
And I still know who call you then? Where will you go when it comes to a thing? I can't bear what does she say? Strip all the material, take it away. And then I still know who call you then? Where will you go when it comes to a thing? I can't bear what does she say? Strip all the material, take it away. What suggestions? Did you give yourself a reason? Hold on. Baby, I just count my blessings, 'cause I don't need to hide from no one.
Here we go again. I thought I'd do a little quick journal entry because I just woke up after being away from my home for what seems like months. We were in California having a wonderful time. I took Cadence on a trip to go visit her uncles and her aunt and my great friends, and we had a really nice time. And we got back yesterday pretty late. Today's Monday. She would usually have her normal school schedule, but obviously we got back too late, so we pushed everything back till later today, and just to fit the rest of the week's schedule, which I'll explain later. But I woke up and I'm just in such a mood, and the mood is sad. I feel really sad today. I feel really sad. I feel really anxious. I'm just feeling a whole lot, and I have good reason to, but I just feel like I've just been in my head all morning and like just going through cycles, rehashing things. And I was like, let me start talking out loud. Let me live journal it so I can get it out, so I can help it move through my body, help process it out. So the first thing I am feeling is incredibly sad. Today I woke up and I feel like I really miss my ex situation. I do. I miss him. It's weird because I've done a lot of work since I ended things, and it's like some days, some weeks, I have a really good grip on like why things needed to end, and like that I obviously did the right thing, and I don't regret doing, ending things or whatever. But then some days, and it's like 2-3 consecutive days, I like cannot get him out of my head. Like, and I feel like I miss him so, so much. And the two are just like at war with each other currently, because do I still know that one, it could not have worked out? Yes. Two, I made the right decision. Yes. But three, boy, do I miss hearing from him and like maybe setting up a little date probably tonight. He was really good at that. He was really good at always making sure we saw each other or telling me that he wants to see me. And that really made me feel wanted and made me feel really seen. And I like the companionship, but that's been gone. The last time we spoke to each other is January 5th. And it's just been like, sometimes it just hits me like we went like every day, almost just about 5-6 months, like talking to each other every day, all day, to just radio freaking silence. And yeah, sure, it's all for the better, I guess. And, you know, life goes on. And surely my life has gone on. I've had many wins, many great days, many, you know, just a lot of great things have happened since. But, yeah, I can't help it. Like, part of me sometimes is like, just still thinking about him, just still thinking about like what they could be, you know, what things could have been. But I guess things couldn't have been anything that I didn't make it, or that I wouldn't have to force for it to be. So that's the reality of the situation. But it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, I haven't seen each other, haven't heard from each other, and it'll probably stay that way. I mean, given like geographical the space between us, and also just not having any actual mutual friends or anything like that. But yeah, that's my truth. I miss him today. Then I don't want to question if it's him I miss or the feeling of something I miss. I just like, I don't want to overanalyze my feelings right now. I just miss him, and is what it is. And I wonder if he misses me. Like, can men do that? Like, just turn it off? Like, just, okay, that didn't work out, or like, that wasn't for me at the moment or whatever. So like, I just gotta move on with my life and never think about it again. Do you think he doesn't think about me? I think that bothers me, that I don't know. I think that would change something. Like, if I knew how he was feeling, or I could see if he was like even going through anything about this, I'd be like, yeah, you should feel a little bit bad, or you should feel whatever. And then maybe I'd be settled a little bit more. But it's that as well. Like, there's no knowing. Like, I don't know what he thinks, what he feels, what he may or may not be going through. Like, I can't even like imagine it, because I'm not sure how he processes things like this, you know? But yeah, it's just really like, it woke up with it like really, really heavy on my mind and my chest, my heart. Like, it's just what I was thinking about. So I'm glad I said that out loud, and I'm glad I'm not like shaming myself for thinking about him or missing him. It just is a feeling, and I know the feeling will dissipate. Like, it will go away. But it wouldn't have gone away if I didn't acknowledge it. So this is me acknowledging it.
Dipping out on me already. Got what you need, and I got quickly. Learned yourself through me already. Gave you what you need, and I guess, yeah. So I'm not with nobody, 'cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody. Yes, I'm hurting, yes, I'm jaded. Most of these things I don't wanna say. I wanna be around while you chase. You wanna.
Okay, it is much later in the day because I have done nothing but procrastinate. Per usual, we're actually at the table because we both need to get some work done. So I have my midday, it's 3:32. I have my midday latte, which is really, I don't like, caffeine doesn't affects me, but it does calm my brain down. It affects me adversely. It calms my brain down so that I am able to do one thing at a time. I know I've talked about it before with you guys, but like I have ADHD. I finally am getting back on my medication. Like I finally made all the steps I needed to, which is the antithesis of ADHD, by the way. Like a multi-step thing, immediately no. But with our American healthcare system, there is no other way. So I had to do all these steps to transfer my original prescription to my current doctor here so she could believe that I was, not only diagnosed but prescribed, so that then she felt comfortable prescribing because it's, I don't know, narcotics. I don't know what the heck. But now the issue is that I have to wait to get the medication, because even though the prescription has been sent, it is like there's a shortage. And if you have ADHD, you probably dealt with this at some point or another. But I take Focalin 10 milligrams, and we can't find it anywhere in the state of New York City right now. So it's like I literally have to wait. So I feel like I'm doing a whole bunch of things to try and like mitigate until I can find medication. And honestly, I'm not a huge coffee drinker. If I am, I love an espresso. I don't like coffee. I like that brewed coffee. I like an espresso, a little latte, a flat white to be exact. But yeah, like that's really it. It's just been harder and harder and harder and harder for me to be just doing things like raw, like without medication. So I thought I was doing the right thing, finally getting my prescription in, but then like there's another roadblock to that. So that's actually really, really disheartening. But we're doing what we can. I'm here. I have my stuff to do. I have like, I have a podcast episode which I need to edit so I can have that out for tomorrow. If I could do 2 episodes, that would be great, because I could just like load them up. And I need to pay this rent. What else do I have to do? I wrote down a little something. Okay, I had to book a flight. Already did that. Hair appointment. Already did that. I will be looking like this until further notice. I have a fundraiser that I need to set up. We'll talk about that before I do it. And then I, like I said, this podcast edit. So I've written it down. I'm kind of on track, but Cadence, like I told you guys earlier, has school kind of later today, which is what I love about her being homeschooled. We can shift the schedule as needed. And because we just basically have been recovering from travel today, she's going to finish her schoolwork now until her in-person teacher comes a bit later for them to do Monday's homework. So she still has like last week's Friday work to do because we were out of town that time. So I'm going to help her through that, but she's pretty independent with it. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What were you trying to say?
I was trying to say it was 3:33, but you know.
Girl, but that's totally fine. Did you taste it?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because you didn't drink yours.
This is the cold one. So like I said, you still have Thursday, Friday stuff. Like you are over here on today. Today's the 2nd, March 2nd already. What? Too crazy. But we have these things to finish. So you're going to go ahead and do your math. Are you going to be using your mouse? So let's... Okay. Oh, only 8 pages, so it's a quick review. Easy peas. What does that say?
Oh.
What is it? No, so go ahead. What does it say?
Spiral review.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Let's read.
It's time for a spiral reveal. This reveal will help you remember some of the things you have already learned.
I'll never get over the fact that you literally read now. Like, excuse me?
Take your time and try your best.
Excuse me? Like, you're reading words. You're reading words on a page. Like, that is so crazy to me. You were just born yesterday. What do you mean?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, like, literally yesterday I had you.
Show me the date. Show me the date.
Later at another time, you know?
Let's see if I can make a design, a heart.
No, let's see if you could finish your work.
All I need is some vanilla.
A little vanilla in your decaf. That's perfect. Okay. All right. So it says, which is the missing number? 12 is how many tens and 2 ones?
1 10 and 2 1.
Thank you.
Wait, I didn't get that.
You did it. That was easy, right? Joyce got, by the way, I need them to know. You are doing, she's a first grader, but she's doing second grade work, specifically second grade
But
math.
it's only first grade math.
It's you think it's first grade math, but it's not because it's easy for you.
Oh.
Me can't count past 10. Her, she got the gene. That's all I can. Hey, she got the gene. Thank you. Somebody else's genes, not mine. Clearly. Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't fit me. Too smart.
Oh, excuse you. Joyce counts by ones starting at 62. Which number does Joyce forget to count?
It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, it seems like it. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Ha!
Amenity charge. Why do I have a late fee?
Because you didn't pay. You said, I'm not paying these.
I paid it like right on the right day. Oh my god.
No, remember when you said that yesterday? I'm not paying these.
No, I
in
mean,
LA?
I mean that was February. Right now, I'm still not late.
you skipped 1 day.
No, this is crazy. This rent cannot be this high ever again. Oh my god. And a $9.95 service fee. They're going to have to see me about that. That is so crazy. I'm like a little rant. I'm paying this rent right now. There is a $9.95 service fee. So I have to pay them to pay my rent. I have to pay them damn near $10 to pay my rent. Excuse me? No, I'm going to have to write a letter. I'm going to take a moment first, though, because we should always be grateful. Like, thank goodness we have it one more month to pay, another month over our heads. Like, thank God we're continuing to be blessed in that way. We're very, 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 very lucky. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be grateful for that. We have to be grateful. Now that I'm done with that. Oh my God! That is insanity.
If you gotta pay that, how you gonna pay for Eloise? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's too much money going on. That's why I have to keep working,
Mm-hmm.
Like, like when I go out and I have to do this and that, and like sometimes I'm on my computer a lot or whatever. It's because it's so I can keep, getting us together.
Yeah. You still gotta pay or you're going to jail. You know that?
Pay rent or am I going to jail?
Yeah, if you don't pay rent, you're going to jail.
Okay. Well, thank God I just paid it.
Yeah, good job. Because I want you with me.
Okay. Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Afterbirth Podcast with me, your host, Stephanie. And today I have a very special guest. But before I even get into the guest, we have a different setting today. I feel like it was really it was fitting for the topic that we're going to be talking about. We just needed to switch things up, get real serious, because this is a very serious topic. And it's also one that you guys are heavily interested in. And I know that because my DMs are filled daily with either asking for recs for this person to be on this podcast, or you guys are asking me personal questions about this topic. And I'm literally like, guys, I don't know much, or I've just started learning, but I felt like we should learn together. So I thought it was the best time to bring on my guest, Danae Famous. Here are the scissors so you can break it. You know how to do it? This way? But here. Very careful. It's so insane to me that the box cutter is just gone somewhere.
I'll buy another one.
Like, where could it possibly be though?
I have no clue. That's probably why I haven't used the box cutter in 7,000 years.
You cut yourself with that? do it like this. Roll it on the outside. See how I'm holding it on the outside, not the blade? Got it? Mm-hmm. I don't know, still a little bit too much, right? Let me just... All the way over there, the tape is right in the middle. Okay, I'm finally done my work for today. I've like really gotten all the way through my list. It is 7:12. I feel pretty good. Last little things I have to do. I want to clear this living room. I've had all this PR sitting here, which I already opened some of them just because I know I'm going to give them away. So I'm sorry. And I need to get rid of the rest of the things in here. So let me open just a couple with you guys. So the first is from Say. I have been using their bronzer. Like a lot of people will ask me like, oh my gosh, what's your foundation? What's your foundation? Thank you. But I actually don't wear foundation. I'm rarely wearing foundation. Like rarely. I just make sure to really take care of my skin. So I have some skin favorites, which let me know if you guys want a video dedicated to just skincare favorites, because we could talk about that. I really do have some like staples, some great, some great things to say about that, but I never know if that's like really interesting or good enough to stand alone. So let me know if you guys do want that. But I say that to say, in addition to my skincare, the products that I do use, I'm very intentional about when it comes to makeup. And Say has been like one of my top go-tos as of late, and I know it's only going to increase in the summer. So from Say Beauty, I definitely use the bronzer. Like that's my thing. I love their cream bronzer, but they sent me 2 more bronzers, and I think these are the powder ones. So I'm interested to see what these will look like. Let me pop this out. Yeah, this is a Radiant Baked Powder Bronzer. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it for real. Because I'm really loving the cream one so far, but I'm also willing to try these powder ones. So I'll see what they're giving and I'll let you guys know. Oh, they also sent over these like beautiful postcards, which I will keep. Okay, so that's that. I just hate having like the boxes sit in the living room. You know what I mean? Like I want to get rid of these things. Okay, my next one is from Innisfree, and it is actually my favorite SPF. So, and this is a new product. I think it's like a new formulation of it because it is SPF 50. I wonder what the heck I've been using. I think I've just been using SPF 36, but now it's SPF 50. So advanced UVA protection. I mean, I use this all year round. They're just really good. I think because it's Korean, like it's a Korean brand, it's not just SPF, but it's like skincare as well. I love it. Just especially when I'm doing like a no makeup look, like your skin needs to be glowy, dewy. This definitely provides that. So Innisfree, definitely my top recommendation for a moisturizer that also has SPF in it, that just also is skincare. And then lastly, Amika sent over this box. I actually already opened it because I was just like really curious as to what else they could possibly send me. They keeps this house full, honey, and that's okay because Cadence has the hair for it. Me too. I definitely use all their some of their products, especially the green line, because my hair is relaxed, so I like to use a protein shampoo every other wash. So there's that. But they sent me, they sent me their body care line. Who knew they had body care? Well, it's actually really new. So I know that for Sephora online, I think it'll be available March 4th, but it'll be in stores March 6th. So yeah, and it kind of smells like their shampoo, which is more like a berry flavored. This is berry scented, I should say. Definitely just has like, berry notes to it. This is their whipped body butter, which I'll try tonight. They also have in here a dry brush, which I only hear amazing things about dry brushing, but have I done it? No. I just have like 2 or 3 of them already, and I have not really done them. I don't know. It's just I don't have the time. I should make the time, but I don't have it. The other thing in here is the Radiant Rich Body Oil. I love a body oil, so we can try this one tonight too. I don't know what this smells like just yet, and I'm like filthy. I don't want to try it on my body. And then the last product in here. The last product in here is the Soft and Silky Body Wash. Also smells berry undertones. So this is their line. It's the new body care line, and we're definitely gonna try it tonight. Why not? Why not? So I can give you guys like a real-time review. All right, so let me go put all these things, excuse me, obviously I'm tired, all these things away, and then we'll catch up tonight because I definitely have I have some things to tell you guys. Like, we gotta chat, we gotta talk.
White man and that's it.
Okay, that's done. It literally took me forever to get in the shower. I got out of the shower and then it took me forever to get to y'all. Like, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just like lagging boots today. Just everything is just being done. It's being done, but it's being done very, you know what? Let's be positive. Did it get done? Yes. That's it. That's all I need to worry about. But now I need to, it is, what time is it? It's 10:55. And I just need to like finish up and kind of just lay down for real because, y'all, let's get into the tea. I have a very big day tomorrow. A very, very big day. I'm going to try some of these new, is this the right time to try new products? Probably not. But I've been wanting to try these newer products that I have. Hyaluronic acid moisturizing cream. What could it hurt? What could it hurt to try new things right now? I got these in PR a little earlier in the month. Acid, a hydrating mist, an acid hydrating capsule. Oh, they gave me 2 mists. I guess this one's a travel one. So that's cute. Okay, so they gave me a mist and then a moisturizer. I think I am gonna try them because why not? But anyway, I have a big day tomorrow. I'm actually going to be flying down to Charlotte for literally a couple of hours. This must be, has to be for real, the final time I will be in court with my baby daddy. There's so much going on with that still. It's like actually kind of annoying. And by so much, I mean, like, there's still this huge thing that, you know, that needs to be faced, that needs to be handled, and that's tomorrow. So if you know, you know, I have won big time with the last court case that we have. And since I won that court case, I mean, everything I said would transpire has transpired. Like, you know, this person was acting like, you know, he's so about fatherhood and he needs his daughter. He needs this and that and this and whatever. And as we've seen almost immediately, he has like not really contacted her, not said anything. I think the last time they spoke to each other was February 14th. And even that was like this like strained conversation. Like, I just feel like when I hear them talking, I hear so much of like the way like me and my dad used to talk. First of all, we only spoke if I called him, and and even then, it's just like it just ended up feeling like a task every single time, because it's like you're calling this person who doesn't know who you are, who's not like involved in your life whatsoever, really, and so it just becomes the same 2-3 questions he's asking, and it's just, you don't want to like rehash all of this, because it's like, if you were just here, you would have already known, you know what I mean? So I could, not only can I tell it's what's going on with her, but I know, because when she hangs up, that's what she says. She's just like, I like talking to him, like, I don't mind talking to him, but it's just annoying, or it gets, I don't really want to call, I don't really want to, I have nothing to say, so I'll encourage her to try still, you know what I mean? But I definitely never encourage her to be the one calling him first. Like unless she's like, doing her thing, like she can call at will, of course, or whatever, but I will never be the one to be like, oh, your dad hasn't called you in a while, you should call him. No, like, she's the baby, she's a child, and I don't care if she was 43. I still wouldn't like support that. Like, you're the adult, you're the parent, like, you call your child. Like, there's no, I couldn't imagine going 14 seconds not knowing, what's going on with my kid for the day, let alone 14 days. Like I said, February 14th, today is March 2nd. They've not spoken to each other, so it's like, wow, it's crazy. On one hand, I am like so sad, because it's like, are you abandoning her? Like, is this like okay, well, now that you have to parent without me doing it for you, is this you like giving up on parenting her, or being in her life? And if so, like, let me know, so I really know how to move for real. Because I will take that back to court and make sure you get even less rights. Like, I absolutely will. But also, on the other hand, it just makes me feel like, dang, are you abandoning her? And like, it brings up like my own abandonment issues between me and my parents. And it also just makes me incredibly sad for my girl, because it's like, who would want to like who, any child, like, what type of a person, what type of a human being would just really abandon your seed like that? It's just, it's shocking, but it's also not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always say this, this is your grandmother's grandmother would always say this, like, when you have a baby, you had the baby, the man was just there, they are not attached to a child the way you as a woman is attached to the child. Can mothers up and abandon their kids too? Sure, but it's very rare when you're comparing it to the way men can up and go. They are not attached to that child the way you are. So again, reason number 9,000,000,003 why you really need to think before you lock yourself in with a man for a child. Like, do you know what I mean? At any moment, they could be a great father for 14 years and on the 15th year decide bye. They could be a great father for 30 years and on the 31st year decide bye. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just never know. You never know. You just have to pray that yours is different from somebody else's, but you never know. But this is where I'm finding myself in this, and just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what is he doing? But all I can do is control what I'm doing. So in the meantime, luckily, I've just been really able to, make sure Cadence is having a great time. Like, she's busy with school, she's busy with piano, she's busy with her gymnastics, she's busy traveling, she's just busy. She's busy with her friends, like, she's doing everything. So she doesn't really notice. She hasn't noticed. She hasn't said anything at all. And like, I'll even like, did you hear from daddy? Like, did you talk? And she'll be like, no, and like go right back to what she's doing. So I'm like, okay, like, I just leave it at that. And again, she's in therapy, so she has that to support her. So I feel like, that's really what it's been like since we ended that court trial. Even before that, I can't remember if I said this in another vlog or not. Like, literally, the court wrapped up in January, had that major win. The very next time they spoke on the phone, he like cursed at her on the phone. Like, literally, he had asked if he could see her the following Friday. Like, obviously he was already going to be in New York, which was forced out of him in court. Like, he had admitted that he had been in New York several times. Mind you, he's seen Cadence one time when, since we've been here since last June. And it was like for a couple of hours. So it's like, you've been here multiple times after that, and even probably before that, and you never told us. So, that didn't look too good on his ass. But obviously he was already going to be in New York. So he was like, oh, I'll be up there next weekend. So like, let me see if I could see her these days, in these times. And I was like, hold on, give me a minute. When I get home, I'll like check the calendar. I'll let you know for sure. Get home, and they're on the phone with each other, on FaceTime with each other, a few feet away from me. She's in the kitchen, I'm in the living room. And so I'm like, oh, dang, I forgot to tell him. Like, I need to tell him what the time constraints, if there are, if they're not, or whatever. So I text him, I'm using my laptop, which I was already on my laptop, text him the times and dates or whatever that we could do. And boop, just, make sure you got car seat in there, whatever. Send that text off. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just answering your simple ass days and times I'm coordinating with you. Send it over. I want to say 0.5 seconds goes by, right? And Cadence is, again, she doesn't know I'm texting him. She doesn't know anything happened, like whatever. She is, again, they were on the FaceTime. So it's like 0.5 seconds goes by and all of a sudden I hear her go, Daddy, what are you looking at? Mind you, he's driving while speaking to her. So she can't see what he's looking at. Like he's just like, looking away, I guess, from her. So she's like, Daddy, what are you looking at? And he goes, oh, nothing, just some bullshit your mom just sent me. When I tell you, like, immediately, both me and Cadence, like, jump. Like, it was just, she was shocked, I was shocked. Because it was like, nothing in the moment called for any of that. Like, nothing. So, like, she, like, drops her phone, starts crying. I, like, stand up so quick, my laptop almost fell off of my lap. Because I'm like, wait, like, legitimately, like, in shock. I walk over to her. Basically, I was like, girl, it's okay. Like, you didn't do anything. Hold on. But what did you just hear? She repeated exactly what he said. I said, that's what I heard too. Again, that was not your fault. You didn't do anything, but this conversation is going to end. And I, like, hung up the phone. And I just, like, comforted her for a little bit or whatever. Immediately text his ass, like, just kind of, again, for the record, and just to, like, address it, like, this is what just happened and this is what you just did. He never answered, never said anything, whatever. After that incident, he didn't call for, like, a week. And then I think they've spoken maybe 2, maybe 3 times since then. And then, and then the next incident was like, the next like time they spoke was this on February 14th, which was like he sent her like a gaggle of balloons for Valentine's Day, which is just so funny to me because it's like, motherfuckers like that, they're always going to do something for the show, but never anything for the sustainability of it all. Like, you have yet to send me a dime, and it's been years now to sustain her. Like, for you've not helped me raise her or do any of the things that help to raise this child in years, especially financially, if you couldn't do nothing else, but you're gonna find it to send balloons. As soon as I saw those balloons in my head, I was just like, watch, he's going to try to force her to take pictures with the balloons later. Watch. So I was like, okay, do your thing. But they've done, little Valentine's Day something every year, like the balloons thing or whatever. This is their first time, I think, not having Valentine's Day in the same state. So cool, whatever. That night I still also had work. So I was like on my way out of the house, but I know I left them on the phone talking to each other. I go back to my room to finish getting dressed, and all of a sudden I like get a text from him, and it was like, just to let you know, Cadence just hung up in my face just now. I know you're not raising her like that, but I just needed to let you know. Mind you, I don't talk to this nigga. I do not. Like, I have not heard from him since the time I text him about him cursing at my daughter. Do you know what I mean? So it was just so funny. The very next text is him. She just hung up the phone on me, and I'm like, oh, like, that's crazy. Hold on. So mind you, I don't care, but gotta like, whatever. So I go out to the living room and I'm like, hey, like, your dad just said you hung up on him. What happened? You guys were just talking on the phone just fine. She tells me she was literally begging to get off the phone again because I was heading out. The nanny is there. He called her while they were in the middle of playing. Like, she's obsessed with her nanny, love her nanny down. They're playing. So she's telling me that she keeps trying to tell him, can I get off the phone now? I just want to go back and play. But he was like holding her on the phone. And I was like, well, why did he need you to stay on the phone? Oh, he just kept asking me he wanted me to stand next to the balloons. I already knew it. I know. I said, okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Whatever. We'll discuss. Next time, come to mommy before you hang up the phone. Like, like if you're being frustrated, tell him, hold on, come to me and we'll figure it out, whatever. But yeah, I mean, she's 7. She's trying to go play. You refuse to let her get off the phone. Like, please. So she hung up the phone. That's the last time they have spoken. Anyway, let's bring it into the now, into the tomorrow. It's me dousing my face in this, not knowing how it's going to work. But anyway, this is Anua, and it's the PDRN Hyaluron Acid Capsule Mist. Hydrate, it's like supposed to be hydrating. hydrating, excuse me. And I think this PDRN, I've seen some things about it from like the beauty YouTuber, this one beauty YouTuber that I do watch, and I think it's supposed to be something from like salmon sperm or something like that. So y'all will see what we're talking about on the hydration station. My face could definitely use it after all this travel back and forth and like different climates I've been in. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, tomorrow is another set of whoa and wow, because y'all, again, if you know, you know, I have been dealing with the evilness from this person for years. But the most recent bout of like his stupidity and evilness, it was during the summer. So before we got to our trial and before we were able to see the judge, you know, I still had to abide by the current parental agreement that we had. And in that parental agreement, I was still taking my daughter down there every other weekend, which, whatever I did what I had to do until we saw the new judge. Okay? That parental agreement also assured by writing that, you know, Cadence is supposed to be able to contact her parents at will. She has her own device, but if her device is not available, whether, you know, like the internet isn't working on her iPad or whatever, or you take it away as a parent for, you know, punishment, that's all you're supposed to be taking it away for, whatever, your phone is then supposed to be made available right away, and you need to tell the other parent that you've, you know, confiscated the device and, you know, for why or whatever, right? So he spent the entire summer and every visit after that, to those 2 weeks that he was granted or whatever in the summer, literally blocking our communication. When Cadence is here, he quite literally only calls her iPad. He's never once called my phone to like try and speak to her. Like if my phone has an outgoing call to him, it's just like we're out, so Cadence uses my phone or something like that or whatever. Again, like I just wouldn't see a reason why I would ever like withhold my phone for her to speak to her dad, or like him, like not make my phone available for him to speak to her. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's just like insane to me. I would never think of something like that. Like no matter how much I'm like, you need to like get out of our life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that's just like fucking insane. But when you're evil, you do think of things like that. So literally every single time my daughter is down there, I cannot get in contact with her. And it's been more so for like long stretches of time, because oftentimes, or like most of the time, she's only down there for like a day and a half. Honestly, like is it a day and a half? It was Friday 6 p.m. Friday 7 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. So what is that? 2 days, basically, or whatever. And so a lot of the times I don't need to contact her. You know what I mean? But it would be her coming back and being like, "Mommy, like I tried to call you, Daddy wouldn't let me." Or if it was for those longer stretches of time that he had her for like holidays and things like that, like it would just be him watching me call, watching it ring. Like I couldn't reach her, and I'd be telling him like, "Hey, Cadenz's phone seems to have been off like all day. I can't reach her." Or he would shut her data off, so then it would shut the tracker on her phone off, which are devices again that I pay for, and then that would alert my phone that like, you know, this phone has gone offline or whatever, and I text him like, "Hey, why is her data off?" or "Why is her, you know, whatever off?" And luckily, like I always kept those on text and like just always documenting in writing the fact that like I'm trying to reach my kid right now. I'm unable to reach my kid. I'm trying to reach my kid through you. You are not answering this phone. Or like when I call and speak to her like 12, I wouldn't hear back from them until like 7 p.m. with like nothing in between. You know what I mean? Or I'm calling and as the phone is ringing, he's literally texting me, "We're busy right now." Like shit like that. Like, but again, thank you for texting that. Like you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But it's just at the same time, you know, at first it was really, really like I couldn't take it. Like that was so much for me because it was like my kid has never been away from me. Now my kid is with this person who means obvious harm to me. So then it registers that it means harm to my child, whether he is or is not. I wouldn't know. I can't contact my kid because on what other planet or what other reason would you have to block my child from being able to call me and me to be able to call my child? Like what's going on? So, you know, after a little bit of time, I kind of just like was like, you're doing this because you want to talk to me. You want to force me to call your phone. You want to see me riled up. So I kind of was just like, I just gave it to God for real. Like every time I handed her over to him, I'd be like, God, protect my child, bring my child back safely. The way I brought her to you, bring her back. That's it. And I would just really force myself to like either check into a hotel in Charlotte, book an extra spa day, just do something to like calm my nerves about it, that I don't need to worry. Like, she's okay. She'll be back to me. I don't need to call her. I don't need to be, whatever. And if she's trying to call me, I would like prep her ahead of time. Like, don't even worry about it. You could ask daddy if you want, but if he says no, just tell yourself like, I'm gonna see mommy real quick. Don't worry about it. Like just give her pep talks like that. And like, let her know I'm gonna be okay. Like that, like, she doesn't need to like reach out to me or anything, but I know it's hard for her. Like, we are together constantly, together. You know what I mean? And again, does she love her dad? Sure. But is she also super aware that something is off with him? Absolutely. So it's like after the day that she's there, like a day and a half, we talk. Like, she's just like, I don't want to be around him that long. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I totally get it. So yeah, those happened. Those kept happening. Come like end of November. This is after she went with him for her birthday and into Thanksgiving. He made that like really difficult and really annoying to get in contact with her, and vice versa. So my lawyer at the time was just like, girl, like, I feel like you're like really, this is like a lot. We've contacted him. We've given him phone schedule. We've given him chance. We have everything documented. Like, he's literally like continuously doing this. Like, we need to file contempt. Contempt just means that, he's going against the court order, and the court order so very clearly lays out what you can and cannot do in regards to phone and communication with the child. He's going against that, willfully, and like doesn't give a damn. Like, it's just like, he just doesn't think anything's going to happen besides, again, me being upset. And like, that's his goal, like to just disrupt my nervous system and to make me cry, to make me upset, to make me scared, to make me, feel unstable. Cool. So here's the gimme gotcha. Here's the you fucking thought. Because I literally, and it's always going to be the grace I give him that he slaps me in the face with, that then will always be his downfall. Because he did that to me all through her birthday and through Thanksgiving that I gave him, by the way. Like, he didn't request to be with her for holidays. I went ahead and handed him Thanksgiving, her birthday, and Christmas. Cool, you want to act like that? Cool, we got it all documented down. We did whatever we needed to do, whatever. Then come December, you guys will remember Cadence had a major asthma attack when we went to work in Boston. Major asthma attack. During that entire time, I made sure to, let him know what's going on, keep him up to date, all via text so they could see I'm contacting him, whatever. And again, just naturally, just because that's her dad, even though he didn't take 1 second to come up there when your child is on oxygen for 72 hours. Whatever, it's going to look like something, but not on me, on you. So after that happened, I had told the judge, I told my lawyer, like, let's give a pause on that. I know he just did that. I know we were going to file, but like, put a pause on it. I think this was really traumatic. Like, let's, let me get Cadence home. Let me settle down myself. But I honestly think he should be settled down by now, because that was like a lot. I wouldn't think that he would like, keep it going. Like, I wouldn't really see why he would keep it going. Like, let's just chill out on that for right now. Lo, behold, and lo, she has to go down there for Christmas. Again, I handed him the holidays. She goes down there for Christmas. I'm in Miami at the time. I don't really plan, I'm doing me. I'm about to have a time, me and my girlfriend, about to hang out, whatever. The only time I tried to call her was Christmas Day, because duh. And I made sure, I'm like, I'm not gonna call in the morning. I'm gonna give them a little time to like, open the gifts together, do their thing, like blah, blah, blah. So I called around like 1 o'clock, like really no answer on the phone. Second time I call again. He picks up the phone, but doesn't say anything. It's like, he purposely picks it up and leaves it open so I can hear that they're like playing. I can tell they're playing with the Christmas gift stuff or whatever. I still don't say anything. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's just trying to let me hear like that they're, in the middle of something, but you could at least say that, text or talk, say something, whatever. But you want to be stupid. Cool, hang up. I call again for the third time. No answer. So that's when I text. I say, hey, this is the third time I'm calling. I just simply want to say Merry Christmas to Cadence. Let it go, like blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what he texted back, but again, it was obviously just like nothing that's like facilitating the call right away. And I think I did put in there, again, I tried to call her on her own device, but it is not working. Like, so this is why I'm reaching you on your device. Boom. He he didn't say nothing back or whatever. He doesn't call me back for maybe like 2 hours. When he finally does, I talk to Cadence for just a little bit or whatever. And, you know, I document that as well. Like I literally write, jump scare. Sorry. I literally speak to Cadence, we're done with it. And then I like write back to just document. I was like, I didn't get to speak. I called 3 times, didn't get to speak to Cadence for several hours later. You know, but that's like unacceptable, whatever. So I think writing back, he was like, write whatever you want for your documentation. Like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, you could not care if you want to, buddy. Like, go you, whatever. So, I think it was after that day, I was like, this thing is like, you really think like nothing applies to you. Like you really think like it's all good. I just spared you. You don't even know that I just spared you. And look at the way you think you want to talk to me or treat me or be cool. Literally, I waited till December 26th. I sent an email to my lawyer so quick. I said, go ahead and file them papers, sweetie. File them. Because really, sometimes you really got to be a nigga's consequence. And I'm just so glad. I've never been more glad to be born. I've never felt I had more of a purpose than to be a nigga's consequence, and especially my baby father's consequence, because he's never met one before. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's an honor, actually. So, yeah, we filed that bad boy, and that was like in December. You would not believe, though, that even though in January we had a court case coming, he knows he's been served, like for contempt, like he's been served, but he knows what's up, he knows what's tea. Cadence has one more visit with him before we have that court case. Wouldn't you believe this monkey literally does it again? Literally shuts her phone off, literally is not letting me contact her. This time it was like perfect text exchange because I was trying to reach her through him. You know, we always know we got to call his phone or whatever, how he sets it up. I always have to reach through his phone. I'm in the middle of calling and he goes, and he does the same thing he always does. We're busy right now. And I was like, Craig, she's 7 years old. She doesn't need you to monitor the phone. Like if I'm calling, unless I explicitly say it on text, like I'm calling for her. I'm not calling to talk to you. So the we're busy doesn't make any sense. Hand her the phone. Like it's not, the call is not for you. He doesn't answer, doesn't say anything or whatever. But again, like all that is documented on text. Like you're nuts. So I sent that to my lawyer and she was just like, we've already filed. I can't believe he would like pull this knowing that he's been served. And to text that is like the craziest thing. She's like, I've just never seen someone so stupid in my life. And I was like, you're welcome. Like, I'm so glad I can like introduce you to this. Like, welcome to like my world. Like, welcome to my life. You know, we have our little like jokey joke on that or whatever. I ended up speaking to Cadence like several hours later. Again, documented that. Like, that's nuts. Like, there's nothing you are doing that Cadence cannot get on the phone for 10 seconds to be checked up on or whatever. So I'm like, you know, whatever. I'm like, can't wait till we deal with this. I obviously never filed for contempt on anyone. I don't really know what's going on. I just know it's basic. To me, it basically gave like tattletale to the court. But I ain't gonna tattletale. Like, sir, I don't know what the hell you think this is, especially because at the time I didn't know what the outcome of our January court case was going to be. So I was like, you know, I'm going to file it because what if he still does get to retain some form of like custody or time with her, like extended period of time with her. Like I need this to be laid out. Like I need this to be like, you know, in front of the judge's eyes that she knows this is the way he behaves or whatever. Right. So, yeah, so I was like, no, I am going to tell we need to tell the judge, like she needs to know this is the tea. So we gets to the January case, the first one, which is like the motion, the motion, basically the custody part of it all, right? So we gets to the judge, we gets to that or whatever. She immediately starts the case and she goes, you guys are on my docket for your contempt hearing. So I'm going to just have an advisory meeting with you guys right now. And the advisory is was her just like, again, confirming with him that he has been served. Like, so she like, you know, get verbal agreement. You know, you've been served, you know, there's a motion of contempt on you or whatever, and you know the date. And she was like, just letting you know, of course it's on my docket, so you will be seeing me again. I'm the judge presiding over that case, and you will be back in this courtroom, blah 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 blah. And then, you know, she asked, like, do you need the court to assign you somebody to represent you? Are you going to represent yourself, or are you going to get a lawyer? He asked for court representation. Cool. So they do all that, whatever. Before we start our case, she goes, oh, and I just wanted to say one more thing. As for me in my court, I only seek jail time if you're found guilty of contempt. Oops. See, for contempt, you can have different, depending on the judge, you can have different outcomes. For me, I knew, like, what I've looked up a little bit was just like, you know, when you're found guilty of contempt, you can go, yes, you can go to jail, but it just seemed like it was such a footnote. Like, that's not really what's sought after most of the time. So I'm thinking either he's going to get, again, a stern talking to, a fine maybe at the most, right? Or, you know, again, it's going to like somehow affect like her ruling for the case that we were originally there to hear. So that's all I'm worried about, you know? That's all I'm worried about. I need a relaxer so bad, yo. But that's all I'm worried about. So when she said that, I was like, oh, oh, this is not a game. Like, this is not a game. Like, this is real, like, criminal contempt. Like, she's dead ass. Like, so she goes, yeah, like, I only seek jail time. I can hear his gulp from over there. And I was in my bag, literally in my purse, so that, like, I wouldn't, you know, look like I was, like, reacting to anything. I would hate for the judge to think I'm, like, gloating about that or whatever. But I was really actually in shock because, again, it was the furthest thing from my mind that would be going down. But it's going down, honey. And now the time is here. So I'm wondering if that's why he hasn't called cadence in all this time. Like, he's just counting down the days. Because here's the thing. The evidence is so black and white, it's not even funny. Like, it's so black and white what you were doing. Stupid. It's so black and white what you were doing. It's not even funny. Like, I honestly would not even need a lawyer to go present tomorrow to really show their asses what you were up to that entire time. So you're probably going to jail, buddy. And, like, it's nobody's fault but yours. Like, I hate that for you. And if he doesn't show up, he'd have, like, a bench warrant out for his arrest. And it's, again, I have this, like, teeny tiny little bit of guilt somewhere in there. It's not guilt. It's my mom's voice, actually. That's what it is. It's this little pick-me voice in my head because I feel like if this was my mom, instead of supporting me, she absolutely would be like, this is the father of your child. Oh, don't do that. That's too far. I think that's going too far. Like, like it's a cultural thing that's kind of like looming in the back of me. And I think it's like what he was always banking on with me when he was playing games with me and taking me for granted when I'm being kind and nice and extending grace. You feel me? But, like, I am not my mother. I am not my mother. I'm not your mother. I'm not that type of mother. I'm not that type of woman. You feel me? Like, you really thought I was, because when you met me, I let everything rock, everything slide because I didn't know yet. But now I'm knowing. Now I'm knowing. And look what happens when I'm knowing. You know, like, at the end of the day, like, I realize and recognize that what's about to happen to you tomorrow is your consequence. I didn't do it. You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. There's no reason for me to feel guilty, for me to feel bad or anything. Y'all, this will be his first time. If it happens, mind you. Who knows? If it happens. This will be his first time having any type of, like, actual run-in with the law, let alone jail. Like, wow. I was about to say, like, you know, we weren't really, like, raised like that. But no, like, quite a few people in his family have gone to jail. Nobody in my immediate family has gone to jail. So like, that's really something that's very foreign to me. You know what I'm saying? Even this whole court shit that I'm having to like navigate or whatever. Very foreign, very like not my usual, but you know, you got me in this courtroom. You mess around with somebody you're not supposed to, they'll have you in places that you were never meant to be in. Around people you were never meant to be around. You know what I mean? Dealing and dabbling in stuff that you were never meant to do. But like I said, here we are. So that's what I'm spending $800 freaking dollars for tomorrow, to fly down to freaking Charlotte for just a couple of hours. I think the trial itself, or the hearing itself, is 1 hour. So we're going to be there 1 hour. Whatever the outcome is that. And I'm literally going right back to the airport and bring my butt right back up here to my child. Thank God again for Village, because while I'm gone, she's just going to have a normal day. She has no idea what's going on. She thinks I'm just going to be gone for work. So that's that. I'm going to be back by the time like her nanny's hours are up or whatever, and we'll just go on about the day, hopefully. So let's see what goes on. I'm about to finish my hair, do a little body care, honestly, and then get to bed. And then the next time we see each other, y'all, we will be in Charlotte. So good night. Say a prayer for me, please. Bye.
Live from the gotcha. Live from the 504. It's Mr. Crazy Flow, jumping like a bungee, no rope. Even in the dungeon, I glow. Even if it ain't sunny, I glow. If it ain't about money, I go nowhere. I'm nailed to the flow. I am a still to the water. Money's the sail to my boat. And it's going down like there's a whale in the boat. And you can smell what I smoke. And yep, I sip that lean. You hit me with that combination and make my eyes bleed. I'm a shark in the water. Yeah, I swim with the big. So I don't have time to deal with Willie the squid. Lily pad, homies, look at the monster, man. You don't wanna crash like La 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 Bamba. Yeah, it's me, Rona and Terror, and my new drop is berry. Watermelon plum, just call it fruit punch. I'm an old rapper, getting new bucks, and all you new rappers, you are just new lunch. Flow sick, so sick, need a doc, yes. A creature, monster like the Loch Ness. I gets hotter by the tick, before I sizzle to death. I just tell a clock, give me a sec. I'm in the middle of the wall where my enemy, yeah. I'm running it like Eric be enemy back. I hear the track, I'm like an energy pack. The instruments are crying out, where the sympathy at? Okay, I'm finna be that. Whatever rich look like, well look, I'm finna be that. They say money ain't everything, but I look better with that. It's cash money, young money, have a sweater with that, and just chill.
Okay, so it's been a couple of days later. Obviously, I don't know if it's obvious for you guys, but you know, it's been a couple of days later and we're back in the bathroom. I think that's where I left you guys. But since a lot has happened, let's catch up. I'm going to be washing these makeup brushes while we talk. I've been meaning to do this for forever, and I'm like, let me just get it out the way now. Like, I need 2 things being done at once so I can stay focused. So anyway, I just took like an everything shower and I feel wonderful. I feel like since I've been back home, I've actually just been sleeping on the couch. I haven't unpacked anything. I took 2 trips back to back. Like you guys saw at the beginning of the vlog, I went to LA and then literally barely slept here. I was slept for like 4 hours and then had to get on a flight and get right to Charlotte. So just my room is a mess still. Everything is everywhere, but I don't feel like attacking that right now. I'll probably get to it tomorrow. So I've just been sleeping on the couch because I just can't. Like I want to switch my sheets. I want to do all of that. And I think I'm still like decompressing and I just don't have the energy to do my room yet. And then to just like step really into like new space, new energy. Like I just don't feel it just yet. So I'm not going to push myself to it. So couch it is. Anyway, let's catch up on what happened. So I feel like I have to go back a little bit. Oh, I hope this isn't super distracting. Hold on, let me do that. And it's just me fill this up. But I have to go back a little bit before I essentially tell you what happened, right? Especially if you're just tuning in, you're just catching up, or if you need a little refresher. I myself love a little refresher. So like a little season reminder, previous season reminder. So again, if you are new here and maybe you're just coming in from the last video, which by the way, thank you so much. I think we're sitting at like 80,000 views. And then just the impressions from that video alone are just like amazing. And like, you know, the things you guys have said, you know, the reminders you guys are giving me as to like why I'm doing this and why it's so important for me to share my experience and not be, and never was I embarrassed in that way. Yes, I was sad that these things were happening to me, that I was experiencing them, but I've never been embarrassed to the point that's just like, or scared of, you know, what can happen to me. The opposite, actually. I was just scared of what would happen if I stayed silent. You know what I'm saying? So it was just wonderful to see that so many people like were supportive of that, supportive of me not wanting to be silent. And not only that, but just like, it just felt like it really wasn't in vain. Like I'm really walking in my purpose by sharing my story, because so many other women are also just like ready to tell theirs, or ready to move forward, or ready to, you know, like go to court, do what it is that they need to do. And since winning that case, I've also been able to put together something that I've been working on for forever, which is my foundation. If you haven't seen it yet, I launched the FU Fund, which is my nonprofit foundation, which aims to help women deal with legal debt. I have spent well over $30,000 something from last year almost to date, like with just this case alone. I'm talking just this case alone. I don't want to think about how much I have spent when we're talking about since the very first day that we started court. And I know I'm not the only one. And when I started this whole situation, really, I didn't start it, he did. I did not have the resources that I have now. I did not. I had to, you know, look around. I had to make things work. I had to research. I had to do a lot, you know what I mean, to be in. I had, you know, some family help. I had some credit card help. And these things I'm still recovering from now. You know, I'm still recovering from now. Things are just starting to like be on the up and up, if anything, now. And I just decided that I really want to be able to give back, because I'm not a lawyer. I get so many questions, so many questions with people. What do I do? Well, you know, this and this and this and this is happening to me. And they, you know, are so vulnerable, and they share like what they're going through with me, but they want to hear what their next step should be. And it's like, y'all, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's just, I don't know what your specific situation is. And if I could keep it ever so blunt, ever so real, some of you are sharing your things with me, and I don't think you're ready for the truth. And that truth really is that the court, unless you are being harmed, unless your child is being harmed, the court will never satisfy you in keeping your child away from the other parent. That's not the point of this. I think some people have attached to my story because they think I've like won keeping my child away from the other parent. That was never my goal. And that wasn't what my outcome was in the court. My outcome in the court, to be clear, was that he has to get off his ass to parent if he wants to parent. You know what I mean? And fortunately, I'm dealing with a child, people who just he actually just wanted my attention, not to actually be a parent, because once the ruling was given, and you know, the fact of the matter is, if you want to be in her life, you have to be a parent. He's just decided to back away, and we knew he was going to do that, you know, because like, again, their goal, people like that, their goal is not actually to be a parent. His goal was to disturb my life, period. He couldn't have my attention anymore, and so he was losing his shit over it. And that's all that was. So I feel like sometimes you guys message me because you're wanting to know how to get your baby daddy out of your life. And truth be told, unless they pass away, or unless they are put in jail for harming you and or the child, and you can get some sort of like restraining situation or whatever, the court does not reward you by, hey, I hate this man, rightfully so even, you know, and this man has done such and such and such to me that's really, really annoyed me and really, really stressed me out. The court doesn't recognize that as a reason to keep the child away from the other parent, right? So even if you're a man watching this, like it doesn't, that's not the way that works. So I just want to be really, really, really honest about that. And then bring it also back to FU Fund. What I am doing with FU Fund is to help women to take the load off just a little bit, right? So it's all about providing some financial relief and as a resource for women who have already secured a lawyer and just need a little extra help because, like I said, I did a lot of my legwork on my own, but I needed a little extra help sometimes, and thankfully I was able to get it in between working 1, 2, couple of jobs, borrowing from some people and making sure to pay it back, things like that. I know what it feels like, and so I want to be able to provide that. So we're doing, so we've launched that, and I'm in the part where I have to do a lot of the bureaucracy work now, really making sure I'm following all the rules, making sure we're getting all our applicants in. But not only that, but I want to make sure that we have enough money to then award our applicants, our selected applicants. So that's all that I am working on now. So if you are watching this and you have a case that is in the US, you have already secured a lawyer, retained a lawyer, I should say, and you're just in need of some monies, and make sure we do ask that you're able to prove that you have retained a lawyer already. And once you do that, you apply, and we will go through application process. And at the end of this first quarter, so I think that's May 20th, the end of May, but I think by May 20th, our applications close, and then we select 5 recipients per quarter. So I encourage you to go to the FU Fund on Instagram, and then you can just follow the link there, fufundnp.com on the website if you just want to go directly there, and I'll link everything in the description, and it's probably going to pop up on the screen as I'm talking. But I just want to be a resource wherever I can for women who are going through the same thing I am, and I want to be able to help where I can help. The second part of that is actually another little announcement. So much has gone down since you guys last saw me in that video, and it's been a while in between, but I had to do some recovery. I had to do some of the get back to my own life because I have been living a life that technically is not mine, and it's just all been marked by having to do what I have to do until I can do what I want to do, and so now that I can do what I want to do, I have finally returned to a dream deferred, like something I have put away so long, and actually it had to die the second I got with my ex, my baby father, because he just got in the way of everything, of all of my dreams. I had to put all my dreams to the side in order to survive, in order to live, in order to make it to the next day. And that big dream was going to law school. I told myself so many things, I probably wasn't going to go anyway. I was having such a hard time studying for the LSAT. So it wasn't going to be that anyway. And I found myself doing really good in education sector. So maybe that's where I was supposed to be, and just stay there and just, maybe, I'll live it through something else. I love law, and it'll find me in another way, whatever. Just kind of just killing my dreams and just making it and downplaying it a little bit because I just didn't see how I was going to get there. But now that things have opened back up for me and I do have just a clear path, I went for it. So I signed up for the LSAT. I'm going to be taking the LSAT June of this year. I really should be studying immediately, but with me, it's so funny because it's me wanting to go into law school, which is test taking pinnacle. I'm not a good test taker. I'm not. So I'm going to be searching high and low for a tutor just because I do work much better this way. I actually also want to see if I can just start a study group. When I did announce on Instagram, there were so many other moms, especially single moms who also are going for it, and they're wanting to study, and they all live in Brooklyn as well. And they were we're down to meet up. And once I'm medicated, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, once I'm medicated, I could set something up like that. I can absolutely see myself doing that. But yeah, so those are the updates that I have, just kind of closing the loop on the last video for real. And just wanted to mention those things before we get into the more recent, what's happening, what I'm saying? What's really going on right now. So anyway, yeah. So last we left off, we had a short 2-hour discussion about the last court date. And I know I kept saying that's the last thing. It is over. It's over. And it is over. It was over then. But I had a second matter at hand. And that matter started in August of last year. In August of last year, I had already moved to New York, and we were in the early stages of him acting like a lot because I left New York and he was just butthurt about it. And the very first hearing we had to just address him trying to file like ex parte things, basically trying to tell the court I stole Cadence. You know what I mean? Like I stole Cadence and with the intent to keep him away from Cadence. Luckily, not luckily, but like logically, there was no proof of that. There was no proof that I was trying to keep Cadence away from him. So when we saw the judge, and at that time it was a temporary judge, so it was really, really scary because, you know, you really risk, first of all, it's in the South. Second of all, we're two young Black parents. Third of all, that judge was a white, old male. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the way that things were aligning was really scary, you know? So I could have been punished. And I want to say, fourth of all, he didn't know us. He doesn't have any attachment to me or the other party's story. He doesn't understand what was going on. He hasn't been with us from the beginning, whereas our original judge was. So going to see this judge, and virtually, mind you, so even less of a connection and less of context there, I was really, really nervous. But lo and behold, I didn't need to be nervous because I did all the things right. I didn't take Cadence away to be malicious. It showed that, you know, I was still maintaining contact. It showed since we had moved earlier in that year, I had still been bringing her back, you know, doing the things that I needed to do at my cost, like he wasn't paying for anything. But at the end of that hearing, not only did the judge awarded that I could stay in New York, and he found there was no cause to have me move back immediately, or that I was actually trying to keep Cadence away from her dad. But what he did say was that until we do have our final hearing, which was the one in January of this year, 2026, that I would have to continue to be the one that to pay for her to go down, to go visit her father. And the other part of that, so whatever, he said that. And then so the other part of his ruling was at the very end, which was so annoying. My ex and his lawyer, who he had at the time, jumped in like the very last freaking minute and were like, hey, just because of all the time that he's missed with his daughter, my client is asking that instead of being awarded the original 1 week in the summer that was stipulated in our original parent agreement, he's asking for 2 weeks. I was like, that's fucking annoying. Like, what are you doing? The judge immediately awarded it. There was no objection. There was no time for anything or whatever to object. And it was over. It was done. So, literally out of nowhere, I had to kind of wrap my head around the fact that not only is Cadence going to be gone from me for 1 week, that was already too much. She's now going to be gone from me for 2 weeks. Cadence and I have not been apart from each other for an entire week ever. And this time we were going to be apart for not only for an entire week, but I was not going to be in the same state as her. I couldn't just go back down to Charlotte and stay for a week. I was already prepared for that to be very, very hard, but now we were facing 2 weeks of that. At the end of the day, I was kind of trying to be positive about it. It's her dad. Again, just because he makes me feel unsafe, he doesn't necessarily have that same effect on Cadence. Yes, he's not going to parent the same way I parent. She's not going to eat the things I want her to eat. She's not going to eat when I want her to eat. He might not even address her the way I would like him to address her. He doesn't maybe view things the way I view things with her or whatever. These are all things that would be very annoying, would definitely cause me anxiety the entire time. But I was going to get over it. You know what I mean? I was going to get over it. It was a week and it was going to go super quick. And that's what I was thinking. But 2 weeks? 2 weeks felt like it was going to be torture. I was really going to have to figure out what to do. And what was more annoying was that he literally at the time was working yet another 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Every other month he has a new job. So he was working a 9 to 5. So I'm like, why the fuck would you request this child, this 6-year-old, to come to you when you're not even going to be home? So where is she going to be the entire time that you're at work? Come to find, lo and behold, which he had to provide us and the court, what his plans were while she was down there. He was going to have her at YMCA camp. So she was literally going to be at camp from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for an entire week. He got 1 week off to stay with her. That was pissing me off, whatever. Neither here nor there, I had to bring her. It was a court order. So I bring her down to Charlotte to begin her summer vacation with her dad. As soon as they drive off the freaking parking lot, he takes her phone, takes her iPad, shuts off her location. Immediately that pings my phone because
I'm the one who pays for all those devices, and I'm the one who has the family plan with my daughter. So I text him and I'm like, hey, heads up, mind you, innocently, because I'm just like, I didn't know he did that. At the time, I'm telling you in hindsight, he shut it off. But at the time, I'm thinking, maybe they just stepped in some weird area in Charlotte or something or whatever that I wasn't, that, the phone was fritzing out. So I'm like, hey, heads up, like her service and signal are off on the phone. Like, even if I text her, it's not delivering. So like, just letting you know. No answer from him. He proceeds to literally ignore me for the next 72 hours. I don't know where Cadence is. I haven't heard from Cadence. Like, I'm in a full-blown freaking panic. And by this time, I'm back in New York. So I am far from my child. I don't know where she is. I don't know what's going on. I on the third day, I hadn't heard from her until 2 p.m. And by her, I mean him finally responding to my text saying, Cadence is fine. She's with her cousins. I don't even think she said she's fine. Cadence is with her cousins and she's preoccupied right now. We'll call you when she's stepped away from family. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the flip is your problem? That is so insane. And like, I have never done something like that to you and would never do anything like that. Like, you literally just disappeared with her. I had no idea where she was. Like, nothing. Mind you, at this time, I'm not referring to anything in our parent agreement because I didn't really know there was anything in the parent agreement to like cover this type of behavior. Because again, I would never fathom that type of behavior, and no one would have to write something down to tell me that I should always maintain communication about the child to the other parent, and that the other parent should always have communication with the child, no matter where they are. Like, no one would have to tell me that. That's just like, duh. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not referring to anything. I don't know if I'm protected by anything, none of that. I'm just like kind of like addressing him directly. So at this time, because I'm only addressing him directly and not really using like letter of the law or any, referring to any letter of the law to him, I'm getting really, really riled up. Like, I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm emotional AF. I'm like scared. I'm just letting it really take over because it's all I can think about. Like, why are you blocking me against my child? Like, is there something going on? Like, are you trying to pull something? Like, this shit was just too much. I'm in here losing my mind for it. Like, literally going freaking nuts. To the point where I think that at the end of that third day, after he texted me that, I literally called the police. I called the police. Long story short, the police are literally so fucking useless. Like, defund them for real. And I stand on that. Like, they just don't really do anything. Like, so I had to like switch to multiple departments. Like, they don't really like know how to communicate with each other. They don't know who is to handle what. Then finally police came here and they were like just talking to me, asked me if I wanted to do a wellness visit, but then ended up like just basically trying to tell me like all of this is really futile. Like, this is, if it's his parenting time, then it's his parenting time. And again, we didn't refer to what was in the parental order. But even if we did, in hindsight, again, even if we did, there's nothing that they could do. It would just be a civil matter, which means I would have to take it to court. But again, did not know that at the time. So I go back upstairs, and this is when like my sister and my brother were like, listen, we are in Charlotte. If something goes down with her, we can get right to his apartment ASAP. Like, my brother was even like willing to like stake out the apartment, which I think he did like for a couple of hours on one day, just to see if they come in or out and if there's an issue or whatever. And at that time, I tried to like go out. I tried to like, take long walks, just try to get it out of my mind and just like pray over the fact that like my child is okay. She's okay. He's just acting fucking stupid, but I know he's not over there starving her or anything or whatever. But it doesn't like reduce from the fact that like I want to hear from my kid, like that's just cruel. It's just like fucked up to do to a mother. But I'm doing the very best I can to just also remind myself that I've gone through a lot. I'm always taking care of Cadence. She's always on my back. Please try to take a little bit of this time to yourself to try to make the days go by faster. First of all, because sitting in my house and like, going between the walls is not going to help the days go by faster. So I did what I could while she was gone. But this entire time, I'm documenting. So it's been, if it's me texting him like, hey, it's been so and so days I've not heard from Cadence, or hey, I called at this time, I have yet, and then now it's this time, I have yet to hear from Cadence. Hey, I'm trying to reach Cadence's phone, it's still offline. Hey, just making sure to document that, forwarding all of these things to my lawyer, and then my lawyer would then document by emailing him either directly or making sure to email his again lawyer at the time and having him CC'd. At the end of that, I want to say at the end of those 2 weeks is the very first time that my lawyer brings up in email to him and his lawyer to reference what the parental agreement states. And this is the first time I actually see it in person saying, or with my own eyes, I should say, saying, he is not to obstruct communication. Neither party is to obstruct communication. The child is should be able to speak to parents freely. If the child has a device, the device cannot be taken away from the child only if the child is under punishment and their phone or laptop or whatever can be taken away. But then the adult's cellular device or communication device must be made available immediately, and you have to tell the other parent immediately. Again, all things no one would ever have to tell me. That's very much duh. So when I'm reading this, now I'm like, oh, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to, first of all, we assumed when he saw that, he was, at least his lawyer was going to tell him yo, stop playing, because if you are going against what this court order is saying, you can be in big trouble. I want to say his lawyer probably did tell him that, but again, motherfuckers like this, they have a problem with authority, and they really do think that they can, not listen and get away with things. And again, I don't think anyone has actually properly punched him in his fucking face besides me. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? So it's they really don't think, they think they're above shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has actually happened to them to make them remember that there are consequences to things. So boom. All my lawyers telling me, she's just you've been doing a great job. Keep doing it. Keep documenting how much you're not getting to speak to her, how difficult it is to speak to her, and that every time you're speaking to her, that you have to go through him for no particular reason. Cool. So I'm talking, this is just August, bro. This is just August. Think about all the times that I still had to bring her down there. So at the beginning, I was calling her when I had to bring her down for just the weekend. So again, my schedule was that I had to bring her down there every other weekend. From Friday, he picks her up at 7 p.m., even though he could have picked her up way earlier than that, but the clock starts at 7 p.m. if we're talking legally, and it ends at 6 p.m. on Sunday. At first, I was calling her at least day 2 of that, because I'm thinking, I just want to check on her just for a little bit, and I just would just call. And again, she should be able to call me. Again, he would make sure soon as he got the phone, soon as he got her things, he would block her from being able to speak to me and block me from being able to speak to her. I kept doing the same thing, just documenting it, that I'm not able to speak to her, that I have called, I have whatever. After a while, again, when I kept having to bring her down there and it was just those 2 days, I was like, you know what? I'm staying in Charlotte. I'm good. She's good. I'm seeing she's coming back fairly just fine. So I'm the worry is being reduced. So I'm not really calling. I'm taking those as vacation days. Most of the times I'm checked into a hotel and not even staying with my brother because he has his own work schedule. So I'm checked out for real. If it's an emergency, hopefully, dear God, that I'm going to hear about it and she will call me or he will call me. So I stopped giving him that power of yeah, I'm going to make her have to call me. Yeah, I'm going to, because what he would do is watch the phone ring and text me while it's ringing, oh, we're busy right now, or she's occupied, or some bullshit like that, just to make sure, that I know that he sees the call, but he's not answering it. But at the end of the day, when you're doing that, you're only giving me more ammo. You're only giving me more evidence that you're obstructing things. But again, you're stupid. You're literally stupid, but you don't know how stupid you are. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to show you. So, okay, cool. So making sure to keep all these things again on text, making sure to keep all these things on record. Again, I stopped giving him the power of that. You have these little days with Cadence, which he's not really doing anything with her. So it's all right, cool. So now the days though that I am a bit more I expect to speak to her are the holidays coming up. So I preemptively gave him Thanksgiving and Christmas of last year, just because I just decided for myself that I've done all her Christmases, all her birthdays, all her Thanksgiving, every holiday you could think of have been on me. They've been my money and they've been my time. I don't really care about Thanksgiving, and I damn near don't care about Christmas. I don't. The magic of it is for the kid. I don't really care about it. I make it Christmas every single day for my daughter and for myself, so it wasn't anything I cared about. So I'm like, you can have them. And again, I knew this was going to work in my favor later to show, once again, I give you time. You're the one who doesn't take it. But this one, you would look crazy if you refuted. So he ended up having to take it, because even at, like, his lawyer was like, yeah, we will take them. I don't know why he's not answering. We will take them. Cool. Those are the times, though, I definitely expected to be able to speak to Cadence. November rolls around. He takes her after her birthday, brings her back to Charlotte. I'm not able to speak to my daughter. It's like back and forth craziness. I'll call her at 12 o'clock. He won't let her call me back until like 8 p.m. Like insanity, like literally just blocking her down. I remember she got on the plane that day. We're in the middle of talking, and he literally hangs the phone up, meaning he wasn't even letting her hold the phone. What is so insane, you guys, you will not believe it. One thing about an airport and me and my kid, someone's going to recognize us. I have not flown on a flight yet since we've started kind of getting a bit more notable on internet, that a flight attendant hasn't recognized us, a pilot hasn't recognized us, a gate agent hasn't recognized us. So it's like I have eyes everywhere when Cadence is not with me. Angels, eyes, whatever you want to call them, everywhere. Wouldn't you freaking know, someone DM'd me, and I rarely check my requests. I went into the request just because I'm kind of pissed. I'm losing it. I'm not trying to go back and forth with him for real. I know he hung up the phone, so I text him, like, to again get that on record. Like, Cadence was in the middle of saying something to me and the phone hung up. I know you hung up the phone. She wouldn't have hung up the phone, and especially if the phone hung up on accident, she would have called me back. So I made sure to get that in details, text it back to him. Wouldn't you know, I go in my requests just to like distract myself, and someone literally messaged me and said, hey, I'm on flight, blah, blah, blah. Not to be weird, but I just saw your daughter on the phone. I don't know who she was on the phone with, but I saw her dad rip the phone from her and hang it up. She looked confused. Sorry if this is causing you any stress. Like, I remember the message word for word. Sorry if this causes you any stress. I just thought you wanted to know. Is that admissible in court? No. But did that just show me, first of all, if anything does happen to my baby, I'll know right away. I'll know right away. I thanked that lady profusely. And I asked her, I'm like, how does she look now? You know, does she seem okay? And she was like, she seems fine. I think she was just initially like confused, but she's distracted. Her headphones are on and she's fine now. Cool. I know it was documented. Again, I'm here to play chess, never checkers. So I didn't even go back and forth with him after that. Boom, I know I had it in my back pocket. I sent that to my lawyer. We're good. So that's the second big ass incident. Like, we're talking, yeah, that first one was August. The second one is Thanksgiving. There were little ones in between. Now, let's get to the third one. But before we get to the third one, we'll know that between the Thanksgiving visit and the Christmas visit, we missed a visit going down there, one of the regular weekend visits, because I had to be, her and I had a contract in Boston to do some work with the Sheridan. We get to Boston, and if you know, you know, she had a major freaking asthma attack. The weather just like triggered it, and it's the worst asthma attack she's had to date, like since she's been diagnosed. She's in the hospital for 3 days. She's on oxygen. I'm texting him, keeping him updated the entire time. He never came up to see her, so all his updates were coming from me. Cool, whatever. But how insane does that look to anyone, especially in a court of law? So good. So, doing what I got to do, keeping up with everything I need to keep up, whatever. If we get out, we're communicating just fine. There's no issue. He's like, let me know, any updates, like, letting me know when he's back off, or on lunch break or whatever, if he wants to call. I'm keeping him abreast. There's no issue of communication between us at the time. Again, why would there be? I'm not an idiot. I know how to communicate, and I know what to do. I know what's right, and I know what's wrong, So I'm keeping him abreast. He's got all the information. He's not in the dark about anything. It's like he might as well have been there the way I was communicating. And again, I'm doing this all on text. Even if I called and we spoke, I reiterated on text afterwards. So Cadence is out of the hospital. It was really traumatic, really stressful, but she thankfully is out of the hospital, and we make our way back to Charlotte. She's beginning to recover. I'm beginning to recover. And in this time, my lawyer messages me, and she's like, hey, I'm just looking back at all of our like communication to his lawyer. At this time, he doesn't have a lawyer anymore. I think soon after August, he lost that lawyer just because he wasn't paying his bills. He's like all these emails that he's sending, all these like fake things that you're filing. It's almost like he thought they cost $5. They don't. And I knew one of us was going to run out of money first, and it was never going to be me. I always have a job. Thank you. So, you know, he doesn't have a lawyer, doesn't have representation anymore. And so my lawyer is like, girl, like, you know, we have actually let him slide so much on him, like literally just going against this court order. I think we should file the criminal contempt. What do you think? And I was like, you know what? I know we brought it up before. Thanks for bringing it back up, but right now, and like he does deserve it, but right now, I just think I'm focusing on Cadence's recovery. During her time at the hospital, I actually was communicating with him, and it felt fine. It didn't feel like really strained or anything like that. So I'm just gonna like focus on this, and like we can bring this back up if it becomes a pressing matter again. Like we're good. So I've just given this motherfucker grace. Let me tell you why you shouldn't give them grace. Well, I take that back. I feel like giving him grace, I never gave him grace in a time where he didn't deserve it. And I never gave him grace for him. I did it for me. Again, chess, never checkers. Also, I'm never going to lose out. He will always be a loser. You understand what I'm saying to you? So at the time, I just was focused on my child for real. Like I was like, we filing this for what? Like, girl, like, please, you already got your money for me. Hold on, okay? I'm focusing on what I'm focusing on. So she's like, okay, cool, whenever you want to file it, like we've already drafted it for real. It's a matter of just sending it in and adding whatever other incident to it if you want to. Boom. I said, okay, cool. Boom, Cadence is recovered. The December is moving by. Now we're down to the Christmas visit. For Christmas visit, I drop her down to her father and I keep it pushing. I go down to Florida, giving myself a cute little vacation. The only time I planned on calling Cadence while I'm on my Christmas vacay, buns out, suns out, was on Christmas because duh. I purposely wait till mid-afternoon because I say it's Christmas. Maybe he's got a little tradition with her. At the very least, they're obviously going to be up in the morning opening gifts with each other. Cadence she's 7 now, and she's still, we definitely keep like Santa alive. I don't know if he's done it with her. I think so, but we definitely keep the spirit of Santa alive. Like we're not like, oh, we went and bought that, whatever. So I just was like, let me not ruin their time if they're opening gifts together. So I'm gonna give them a little time. Maybe they're eating breakfast, you know, whatever. So I didn't like call too early to ruin anything or whatever. Again, being considerate. Call once, nothing. Call again a few hours later. Actually, the first time I called like back because I was like, what the hell? I know you're not next to your phone. Like, what's going on? Second time I call, he answers the phone, but like purposely like lets me hear that things are going on in the house. I can hear him, I can hear her, but he's not saying hello. I'm like, hello. I'm listening to them. No one's saying anything. Cool, bet. Hang up the phone. I text that. Again, I'm documenting. Called maybe one more time. It was definitely one more time. Finally, he answers the phone, passes the phone to Cadence. Cadence is like, hey mommy, like whatever, you know, I'm outside riding my scooter, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, were you home this whole time? Like, where are you? She's like, out, like basically lets me know that they were home the entire time. Like they just stepped outside to ride her new scooter that she got for Christmas. And I'm like, okay. So I say Merry Christmas. You know, we get off the phone. We were on the phone 3 minutes. Again, as soon as I hung up the phone, I made sure to text his phone, letting him know Cadence let me, first of all, this is the initial time I called. This is the time I'm finally getting to speak to her. Secondly, Cadence let me know that you guys were home the entire time. So notating that, whatever. I think he like said something back like, you know, run your house how you want to run your house, sweetie, whatever. Again, on text. On text. So it's like, yeah, get your little 1-2 off, bitch. Like, don't worry about it. Somebody else is gonna have to reread the way you're talking to me about me talking to my child. Don't worry about it. So let him get that off. Didn't even say nothing back to him for real, because I said, like chess not checkers. So I, you know, leave Miami, get her, come back. Soon as I get back, I reach out to my lawyer. I said, hey, girl, Merry Christmas. Hope you had a fabulous one. File them papers. File it. Because I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. So we get to, we get to the point where they're filed. Now, you could file for contempt and the court can dismiss it. They could choose not to hear it. And I just knew that we had enough solid evidence, solid everything, that the court would accept it. And lo and behold, they did accept it. Not only did they accept it almost right away, they put it very close to our other child, which was also wonderful. And it wasn't before the other child, which was perfection. Everything lined up perfectly. So we had that trial in January. I think it was January 23rd. I really should get that date tatted on me because it is my freedom, my release papers were given that day. I need that date. But we had that trial in January. You guys know the outcome of that. And then March 3rd is when I had this trial, which was for the criminal contempt. For some reason this time, y'all, I got down there and I was really nervous. The first trial, I wasn't nervous at all. I was like, we're gonna have 4 hours in here. We're gonna have plenty of time. I think I talked to my lawyer a lot more about it, so I felt just more prepared. Like I knew what we were going in to do, how to do it, and like we had a game plan. This one, I think because she was just so sure that things were gonna be so like, open book. You know what I mean? I mean, it was just like clear cut. You're interfering with communication, you're blocking communication, and you had knowledge of what you were doing, and you were doing it maliciously the entire time. It really was clear cut. I knew that, but I just was like really nervous about it. So a couple things were going on with me, like keeping it so transparent. At one point, a couple of points, I was like feeling really like there was a little voice in the back of my head that was just like, things are really getting like out of hand here. Like they're out of hand. And let me explain, give you context for why they're out of hand. If you remember in my last video, I told you guys we had the advisement hearing for this criminal contempt hearing, right? So before we started the January trial for the custody, she did an advisement for him, which was basically to confirm that he knows that he was served for contempt. So he had to confirm that there. And at the end of the advisement, the very last thing she said to him was, you will be seen in this court by me as the judge. And as for me in my house, basically, she said, she only seeks jail time for contempt. If you are found in contempt, you will serve jail time. Usually for contempt, jail is not really like the top list of the give out. It is an option, but it could be a hard slap on the wrist. It could be a warning. It could be that you lose some parental rights or they become modified even more, or you pay a fine. Yes, again, jail time is in there, but it's not really always the first go-to type thing, right? And you could also be put on notice or whatever, so it was insane to hear her say that, but also like, okay, cute. So we get to the date, and of course now I'm like, dang, this has gone really far, because again, I already know what's taking. Like, I know what's coming for your ass. Like, I know we are going to win. You don't even have a lawyer to help you, So he was given a public defender. Sorry to say it, like, with all due respect, you might as well not have a lawyer. So we get in the court. This voice is in the back of my head, and I had to like kind of like think, where is that coming from? Where is this coming from? I don't really care what happens to him, because I just don't want to care what happens to him. And we're here not because of me at the end of the day. So why am I feeling this way? And honestly, I realized that voice was really my freaking mother. Like, because I knew, had she known what was going on, bar the fact that I'm going through all of this without a mom, who is alive, by the way, I am handling all these things. I just know, like she has in the past, when I've come to her with the things that he's done or things that he's literally doing right in front of her face. And it's like, she just expects me to constantly diffuse. She expects me to constantly forgive. And it's because it's what she has to do to survive her own relationship. And it's like, girl, I'm not trying to survive in the relationship. I'm trying to leave and survive away from this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show what you grow up with becomes the voice that you hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times, the inner voice that you have is not actually your voice. So it does you good to examine, who is that? Who is that? When you hear a voice, don't automatically think that's your actual intuition. Sometimes it's someone else's voice, and you have to identify who that is before you act on it. Because I know it could not have been me all of a sudden feeling sorry for a bum. It could not have been me all of a sudden feeling like, oh, like maybe this has gone too far. And it wasn't. It was literally the voice of my mother, who would people please in this moment, who would show undue grace in this moment, and who again would just pacify the situation. So once I identified that was not my voice, my stomach stopped hurting immediately. I literally was like, oh, I'm here. I've arrived. Actually, whatever happens to you, I'm going to ask if I can tighten the cuffs. Please, okay? Remember who I am, and I am not my mother. You understand? So, I got rid of that. That's exactly why I was feeling super, super freaking nervous. I wasn't showing up as me. I was showing up as what I have grown up around and heard. So once I got rid of that, I was good. Now we start the trial. The trial was only an hour long. I'm gonna save you guys like the little details in between because it wasn't really like I'm telling you. We heard the first month that he blocked things, which was in August. Then again, we heard about the November, and then we heard about the December. We definitely sprinkled in the little bits in between, and we just printed out. We had all the receipts, we had all the text messages, we had the recordings, we had everything. And before we could even get to closing arguments, the judge had taken her glasses off, rubbing in her temples like this. We already knew what was tea. So before closing arguments, here's kind of the surprise. So here's really what happened. Let me shut the water off so I can really let you guys know what happened. Before closing arguments, we were able to speak to our lawyers. I think his lawyer is the one who called to speak to his client, my ex. And so in that time, it was kind of divine because then my lawyer and I were able to talk, and she was like, we have been playing, we've had a game plan this entire time, and we're not just gonna throw in the towel now for instant gratification. So when we're asked to give recommendation, I'm not gonna say that we want to see him go to jail today. She was like, I'm more than sure the judge is ready to put him, nothing can be guaranteed, but I'm more than sure the judge is ready to put him in jail now. If she puts him in jail now, she's likely going to do a day, maybe two. We don't know what the sentencing would be. But what we do know is that if we recommend that he has a suspended sentencing, is that he will be under an even tighter watch and walking an even tighter rope for longer. So I think we should go for that. I was like, what? What do you mean? I flew down here. I paid $800 for a same day arrive and depart flight to see somebody get locked up. What do you mean? I'm tired of taking not even necessarily the high road, but the more calculated, long, drawn out road in order to ensure that I get what longevity of peace. I get it, but when do I see him get right now? Look, I want him to see him shanked right now. But she was like, I totally understand you. I hear you. But at the end of the day, girl, we want to always have him fall on his own sword, in the worst way. You don't want him to get a little tap on the wrist, a little and he's up out of here, and then could be back in your life, could be whatever. Yes, this will be on his record. Yes, it would hurt him in the long run, but we could make it punish him in the long run. And I was like, all right, when you put it that way, okay. So we get back, they make the closing arguments, and boom, lo and behold, she asks us what is the recommendation? What do you guys recommend? She was like, we asked, did he have a suspended sentence? She says, okay. She turns to him, and his representation, and was just like, Mr. Gray, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. I do find that you are in criminal contempt. I do find that you knew what you were doing, and you did it maliciously, and you did it repeatedly. And even after you were served, you did it again. And so with, all the evidence that I have before me, I do believe that you are not being forthcoming with the court. And so I do find you in criminal contempt. I look over, my brother's kind of looking over at his side or whatever. He's squirming. He is squirming because, again, he knows what his fate is about to be. He's squirming, drinking water. You're not thirsty, nigga. Put that water bottle down. Stop it. Hold on. Listen. So at this point, she sits up and she's like, and so now what I'm recommending, as soon as she says that, the bailiff stands up to go stand closer to him. As the bailiff is walking over to him, his face is he's holding his chair, he's scared. Mind you, this is somebody who thinks they're tough with women. Otherwise he's a bitch. He's always the little brother. He's always getting sunned somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it's please, I thought you were a loner. I thought you just didn't have friends really like that because you're shy whole time. It's really because nobody wants to be your friend. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask enough questions for real. So you're not tough nowhere else except for with women, and not really me either. So whatever. So now I really can see how you're fucking scared. You've never been around no happenings. You've never really you never seen nothing. You never bust nothing. You never, you know what I'm saying? So jail is very scary to a motherfucker like that. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of pretty. So I can understand why the bailiff coming at you, your life is flashing before your eyes. So anyway, that's happening. I'm kind of like trying to hold in like kind of a smile. I'm like, oh, you scared. You're scared. My brother's kind of cracking up behind me. He's like in the benches right behind me. I can hear him. So we're kind of just all having like a small little reaction or whatever. And then she goes to him. She goes, as for my recommendation, I need you to know that you probably didn't remember what I said or that you didn't take it seriously, but you can absolutely go to jail for criminal contempt. Like I said, if I'm seeing the case, I will put you in jail for this, and you should go to jail for it. So bailiff approaches him more because the bailiff thinks she's about to say, and you're going to jail now, you're being held in contempt. So he kind of like moves this way. The bailiff approaches him, and his lawyer like stands up. I'm like, oh, it's like all moving slow mo for real. And she goes, but by the grace of this court, and really by the grace of the opposing party, I forget what she called this, whatever, but by the grace of the opposing party, what I'm going to recommend is that you have a suspended sentencing. But I am going to add more to that. She said, Mr. Gray, for these next 12 months, you will be under tight watch. You will be under probation. And with that probation, you will have to take parenting classes. If you miss one parenting class or you do not show up for a parenting class for whatever reason, your suspension will be lifted and you will serve your time. Secondly, she said, the details for your time served, I am going to give you 1 day of basically like 1 day of jail per month that we discussed. And it was 3 larger months. And then to that, she added a day and a half. So I think it was like a total of like 6 days, 6 or 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. Like she was just taking liberties. And I said, you go, girl, go ahead. And she was just like, again, if you make any errors during this time, if you go against anything in the new parental agreement, your suspension will be lifted and you will immediately serve this time. And I think the next thing she said was that in our current newly formed modification, what it says about communication right now is that whoever the non-custodial parent is, like, so whoever doesn't have the custody of the child at the moment, they're the ones that have to initiate the phone call for the day, like at 7 p.m. So Cadence is allowed to call us whenever, but if we're the one that's going to make the call, it needs to be at 7 p.m. She changed that during his probational period to be anytime Cadence is with him, he has to call me at 7. She said not 6:59, not 7:01, but 7. Every day that she is with you, or with, like, anytime she's with him. It doesn't have to be a visit. It could be like if he picked her up for the date, like whatever, like 7 p.m., you call her phone. If that call is missed, you will report to jail. I said, wow, keep going. And she kept going. There were a couple other details. Honestly, like, I won't bore you with the details, but again, it makes everything on him, and it makes the kind of like the collar so tight on him, the leash, that it's like even a bark too loud, you're going to jail. So it was beautiful. It was wonderful. And she was right. Yes. Did I want him to go to jail that day? Did I want to see him crying, leaving the courtroom that day? Yes. But this one is much better. And I'll tell you why it's much better. It's because, again, he isn't even able to hold to all the timing and the planning and the other restrictions that were put on him during our January trial. He can't do it. He literally cannot do it. And so with these extra restrictions, he's definitely not going to be able to hold on to them. And so what that means is he's likely out of our lives. Is it sad? Absolutely. Is that the real outcome I wanted for Cadence? No, I was really hoping throughout all of this and from the very beginning that he was who he said he was, which is someone who wanted a child, which is someone who wanted to raise a daughter together, which is someone who wanted to be a dad, regardless if I was there or not, but that was not the case. And, wishful thinking is wishful thinking. But at the end of the day, me and my baby, we're going to be all right. Like, it is sad. But I'm not projecting that onto Cadence because guess what? They haven't spoken in over 2 weeks. I feel like by the time you see this, it will still be like that. I can actually put hands to God on it. He probably will have yet to call her. If you haven't talked to your child in over 2 weeks, what's another week? You know what I'm saying? Like, she hasn't said a word about it. Matter of fact, I'm the one that's brought it up to her. And when I brought it up to her, she was kind of just like, why would I call him? I'm the child. And I said, oh, for a 7-year-old to be talking like that? Damn. I didn't come to those realizations until I was well into like high school. I'm lying, college, like undergrad college for real. Like it was just a mirror held up to the way I used to feel about my own father. She went on to say that, you know, when they do talk on the phone, she doesn't like it. She'd rather see him in person because when they're on the phone, he asks the same 3 to 4 questions because he doesn't know what's going on with her day to day. So she doesn't like to talk about, she said she doesn't like to repeat what her day was all the time. She just wishes he was here to see it. I totally understand that. To this day, my dad couldn't tell you what school I went to. None of the schools I went to. All he knows is, you know, at least he paid for them. At least he did that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just was like, damn, like she really is so strong in what she knows and understands. So I had to like, you know, think like to myself, yes, this is sad. And yes, I recognize what's going on and it's like so fucked up, but I don't want to project that onto her. I'm realizing that like she's not me. I'm realizing that I'm not her. I'm also realizing that I'm not my parents. My child is in therapy. I just started therapy well into my adult years. You know what I mean? So she will be fine. Will life be perfect? No. A child is not supposed to be getting over her father. You're never supposed to be getting over your father. You know what I mean? Like you don't want children to be born to then have to fucking reconcile with the fact that you weren't man enough or woman enough to do your freaking job of raising them and loving them unconditionally. So life will not be perfect, but life will be okay. And I work every day to make sure that that's what happens for her. Her life will be okay. We will be okay. And so that was the result of that. And we're back home now and we're back into our lives. We're making time for friends. We're making time for travel. We're, you know, Cadence and I are just getting closer and closer every day. As she's growing older, it's just like my pleasure to be more and more of her friend, you know what I mean? And discover who she is aside from me. So it's been great. It's been great. I feel fine. My nerves are coming down. I feel like, you know, in between the trials, I was definitely feeling like this nervousness, like this pit in my stomach. I've always felt like, oh, am I missing something? Something's wrong, or like I'm in trouble or something like that. But it was just my body still coming off of years of like having to be raw. And now I don't have to be that anymore. And so, you know, I'm slowly coming down of those things, and I'm present in my body. I can feel my toes on the ground right now. Like I can feel myself talking to you guys. I can hear myself talking to you guys. There's not 10,000 other thoughts going on at the same time. And I'm only going to get better. It's only going to get better for real. So yeah, now I can really say it's over. It's over. It's over. He has no say in my life and he has no say in her life. He just doesn't. And thank God. I feel like I've been in a cage for 8 years. I made one decision and it's put me in a cage for 8 years. And now it's reversed and permanent. Not only am I out of the cage, but he is in the cage and I'm the one holding the keys. It is how it is. And it's how I will always just be so thankful. Like, would I want to go through this again? Hell no. Hell no. I wish I knew better. I wish I did better, but I don't want to ever punish younger Stephanie because at the end of the day, I had to go through what I had to go through because I am the last woman in my family to go through this. I promise you that. So in that case, if I had to do it again to make sure that my daughter doesn't go through it, hell yeah, I'd go through it 100 times. And I hope she does use me. Use me, girl. Use me. I hope I've given you the blueprint. I hope I've given you the map. Will you make mistakes? Hell yeah. But will you be able to look to mommy to know how to get out that mistake? Hell yes. Double hell yes on that. So it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And we are good. So that's what that is. All these makeup brushes are done and I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Today is Saturday. We are going to have an adventure today. I put a hat on because y'all see I just got my hair done yesterday and it's not supposed to be raining today, but it's misty and like I just don't feel like risking it. I also didn't really feel like carrying an umbrella. I actually do need to get a new umbrella, but I just didn't feel like carrying one. So I put a little net on under here and then pop this hat on. You could do like a little outfit of the day later.
little mama's with us today because it's a girls' day adventure. Absolutely. First stop though, we are going to see a possible new apartment, right? A new home. We've already been here for a year, like almost a year, which is so insane. Like it's been the longest / quickest year of my life. So to look up and realize like, dang, my lease is almost up, is kind of insane. So we just recently started apartment searching, and I just know which area that I want to be around, and it's not the one I'm living in. Like there are pros and there are cons, which we will discuss when I leave the area for sure. But yeah, so that's our first stop. We're going to go see one apartment, and then we do need to eat. We kind of rolled out of bed, got ready, got everything, whatever, like right before we had to leave, so we did not eat. But that's okay. I never eat this early. Are you super hungry? Are you super hungry?
No.
Yeah, we never eat this early, so by the time we're done, I think, you know, our stomachs will open up ready for breakfast. So let's go see what this place is talking about. I like the kitchen.
So now these units are heating and air.
And air, okay.
Everything is
Brand new, I see that.
The fireplace was preserved.
Is it usable? The fireplace.
You said what?
It's not functioning.
No,
right?
no. So let me say manual. Right here.
It's a nice size. It's 2-bedroom.
Yeah. So you got this is a 1 4-bedroom downstairs.
Okay.
Upstairs is a complete open layout.
This is a nice bed.
Yeah. Is the bathroom here?
Yeah, let you look at.
Yeah. So this is a bathroom with the bedroom.
So much tape.
Yeah.
This is intercom,
Security.
can't buzz, but you can at least view, see who's coming, capture and all that.
Oh, okay. You can see who's outside. All right, and then let's see upstairs. Put this down. Go ahead, Kika. Oh, it's like a loft.
So right, so that's it. Slope in the front. So if you use it as you put like maybe just a couch or something there or a desk.
Yeah, it's a little office space even.
This ladder is getting moved back to here.
Okay.
And the little station back to that.
For emergency. This is its bathroom.
Back here.
Alright. These are new units. Okay, does this have access to the backyard or
Exclusively for the downstairs tenant.
for downstairs? Okay.
Let me see.
They got 3 dogs.
Huh? Silly.
Hey world.
Hey.
You keep trying it on, and you already tried that one on. So like, what's the deal, man?
I didn't try these ones. I tried those ones over there.
Yeah, that's when you were taking forever to come up the stairs.
Sometimes you gotta take forever.
Nope. Sometimes you can probably, like, get patiently, but still, no. Never take that long. Because if you take that long, I will not get happy. So yeah. Move out the way. Go. You're still in it, Matt. Oh my god, that wallet is so cute. I need a new wallet anyway. This one, I really need a new wallet anyway.
Oh yeah.
Last time I got a wallet, it was like a lot of money.
Yesterday was so fun. Ended up having a really good time with just being Cadence, and then my literal super long-term friend. Like, we've known each other since undergrad. Like, I think it was my very first friend actually in college. Matt came, and you know, just like a reminder of like the village that I have, really, because it just, the second I started just feeling like a little bit tired, not overwhelmed at all, but just a little bit tired, I was able to like immediately share Cadence's like never-ending energy with her Uncle Matt. So that ended up just being a really, really perfect, relaxing day that was like just about each other's time, and like we didn't rush anything, and it was just really, really perfect. But today is Sunday, March 8th, and it is Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day if you're watching this. And like, how fitting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we in this little community, this sisterhood, this family we got going on, like, we really celebrate motherhood, we really celebrate womanhood on another level, you know what I mean? And it's never about women being perfect human beings. It's about us making mistakes. It's about us accounting for the parts of our lives that are not our fault necessarily, but happened when we weren't fully awake and fully in who we are and who we're meant to be, but we're getting there, or we're arrived. And there's many, many arrivals in womanhood, and especially in motherhood. So happy International Women's Day to you. I celebrate you in all of who you are, and all of what you have done and what you will do. So to that. But for me to celebrate today in true fashion, I absolutely had to book a wonderful spa day for me and my like literal soul sister, who is also Cadence's godmother, Natasha. You guys have definitely seen her before if you have been here for a minute and like watched my vlogs or whatnot. But yeah, so we're on the way there now. It's at Chelsea Hotel, which is a bit of a historic hotel, and I think the spa area is like dedicated to a few writers, I want to say, like
I will look that up. Actually, I should have. I know like the background of it, but I don't know which writers it's dedicated to. But like a lot of their spa services are in honor of those authors, writers. So maybe I'll ask a little bit more there. But I'm really looking forward to just being able to relax today and just have a girls' day. Usually when I'm with Natasha, Cadence is around, and I don't get any time with her actually because we're both catering to Cadence, and honestly they ignore me. They're like this with each other. So I really wanted us to just have like a girls' time, like catching up. I know she's working super hard, and yeah, so it was just really, really amazing to be able to like do these things together. We've been separated out of the same state for so long, so now that we could just like get up on a Sunday and just like hang out with each other, I don't take that for granted. So we're almost there. 10:45. We're supposed to be there like 10:53. I actually need to complete this form, so I'm going to do that now before we get there.